On this week's episode of ReLiterated, we follow the story of a foreigner to our land. He invades a small town, doesn't want to speak English, blares his awful music, kidnaps a woman, and takes her job. Two intrepid children take it upon themselves to expose this menace and send him back where he came from. Is this some right-wing wet dream? No, it's My Teacher is an Alien on ReLiterated, the podcast that's never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Welcome to ReLiterated, the lowbrow book club of three grown-ass men reading the children's books popular in the 1990s, but with 2020's hindsight. Fair warning, we use language too mature for kids, analysis too immature for literary scholars, and ignorance too profound to be inoffensive to everyone. We also talk about our books in depth, and that includes spoilers, so before you listen, if you're not familiar with the story, prepare to be spoiled. You can interact with us and enjoy all kinds of bonus content by searching ReLiterated on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, YouTube, and Facebook. We are doing our best to keep up posting on those places. And then you can ask us questions, suggest future episodes, tell us what we missed, just give us some feedback. Send us an email at reliterated@gmail.com. My name is Andy.
My name is Harold.
And I'm Josh.
Josh, you gotta be the combo breaker. We all started with my name is.
Well, you know what? Don't tell me how to live my life.
You could at least have started with my name is Tiki 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 Josh Hazard.
I don't know about that. Tiki Tiki Tiki.
I don't know. Tiki 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 Josh Hazard.
Wiki, wiki,
It's
wiki.
Josh. He had to be difficult.
I'm different, you guys. Just let me be different.
He's our perfect little unicorn.
I mean, I'm no Tyler, but I try.
Anyways, welcome back. Welcome to this week's episode. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to be reading My Teacher is an Alien by Bruce Coville. Have you guys ever had any teachers that you suspected of being aliens?
In my fourth grade, I had a teacher named Mrs. Rogers, and I think she was an alien. And there's a couple of reasons. The first one I thought was, she was too stereotypically dressed, like she looked like a witch. Her haircut, her super black hair, and, anyhow. And she had like this like bangs cut that just didn't fit her right, And I actually was thinking as I was going through remembering what she looked like. You remember Galaxy Quest?
Mm-hmm.
The girl with the black hair with the bangs? Like, yeah. That's how the way she looked just looked at the way aliens would pretend to be human.
Oh, she had that kind of haircut.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, bangs are an interesting choice. They either work or they really don't.
Yeah.
It's hard to make them work. It's really hard, especially when they just like lay there and look too neat, too straight liney,
Right.
Almost like it's not human, like it's alien.
I like her bangs.
It was always, very perfect. You could level a shelf with her hairline.
Perfect.
What about you, Josh? Any aliens in your alma mater?
We had a teacher. His name was Dale Grifka. He was an interesting individual, and he would probably be the closest thing to an alien as far as my teachers go. He had a very interesting shaped head because he was bald, and the things that I remember is that he was in his mid-40s, and he wanted a specific type of relationship with a woman. He wanted to find a mid-40s, same basic knowledge, like pretty intelligent, Catholic, that was very important to him, Catholic, virgin. So he was looking for a mid-40s Catholic virgin, which
I bet he's still looking.
I'm pretty sure he is, but he was actually a really good teacher, though. I really liked his classes. I actually learned quite a bit from his class. So he was I enjoyed his classes, and he was part of a prank that he pulled on a girl that ended up being a valedictorian. She was having car trouble, and he was like, "Oh, did you check the blinker fluid?" She's like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, check that. That might be the issue." Thinking, "Oh, she's not gonna take this seriously." Oh no, she took it seriously. She went to a mechanic and asked about it. Yeah. There's no such thing as blinker fluid, obviously.
I know for sure that when you say to somebody, did you check the blinker fluid? You're sure hoping that even though they might not catch it right away, that's the whole point is the delivery. I think being in the shop kind of gave me my delivery because it's all about the delivery when you say stuff that you want people to believe. And they'll turn around and walk away and they got to think about it for a second. When they go to the extent that they ask somebody else, that's always the time when you're standing there like, whoa, man, this has gone too far.
What about you, Andy? Did you have a teacher that you thought was an alien?
Not really alien. I mean, there's one that stands out, but he was more like acted more like one of the students, really. It was my theater drama teacher, Mr. Mindikowski. We called him Mindy. And, he'd spent some of his time in the class, but give us something to do and then go back into his little room in the back of the classroom. A few privileged students got to be in there with him, just goof off and do God knows what in there. Nice enough guy. He gave me the nickname A-Team, and that stuck around with me in that class all 3 years that I took his class. He seems like an irresponsible as hell teacher. Like I'm pretty sure he went back and smoked weed with the AV teacher. But hell of a nice guy.
I mean, he sounds like a pretty irresponsible teacher.
Yeah.
The whole time you're telling me the story of him taking privileged students into a room, I'm sitting here like, as a father, I would be concerned if my kids were going to a second location with their teacher.
I know, they always seemed like the prettiest girls too. Like,
that's messed up.
Yeah. I think he ran for public office after he retired.
Oh my God.
Oh man. But his catchphrase at the end of every class was "Have a day." We'd line up at the door. This is even still in high school or whatever, but he'd like shake hands with each of us, give a pat on the back as we left class. He'd go, "Have a day, have a day, have a day. A-Team, have a day." Yeah, good old Mindy.
Maybe good old Mindy.
Probably. I don't know. Yep, good old alien teachers.
Strange people.
Anyways, we're discussing a book about a bunch of kids who discover that their teacher is an alien. And the book is called My Teacher is an Alien. And the plot of the book is they find out their teacher is an alien.
Well, the plot, I know when I was reading this book, I was like, man, this seemed a little bit much for a kid's book, kind of. But to the students at Harrington High, the principal and her posse of teachers have always been a little odd. But lately, they've been behaving positively alien. Controlled by otherworldly parasites, the faculty try to infect students one by one. That
doesn't seem to match up. Did you read the same book?
Yeah.
Harrington High? Andy, did you have something to do with this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could have swore this was a lot more cutesy. This is talking about a drug dealer and a cheerleader.
What?
Oh, this is the This is the faculty.
They take students one by one or two by two into
it's
the
when
back
the
room.
aliens came back. It's the sequel to My Teacher is an Alien. They came back in the faculty.
Oh my God, you're right. I didn't even think about it.
Is that the plot of the faculty?
Yeah, that's the plot of the faculty.
Oh, I never watched the faculty, so it was.
It's
completely
a good
went over my
90s movie. You should totally rewatch it.
It was directed by Robert Rodriguez.
What's the name of that school? Harrington High?
Yeah, the school was named Harrington High.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know they named a school after me. That's awesome.
Quite the honor.
Yeah, I'm honored.
We're always finding things with our names on them.
Right.
In these books.
Your name's Miller. You're everywhere. You're on beer.
Oh yeah.
We drink you, sir.
I don't drink me. It's not that great of a beer.
Yeah, I'm actually drinking Coors right now.
Right. Coors is good.
Everything's just dangerous. Everything for me is danger. Trip, stare, golf, everything. Danger.
Harold, do you call your kids Miller Lite?
I don't. may have at one point, or someone pointed that out to me because it sounds familiar. But the book we are talking about tonight is My Teacher is an Alien, which is much different from The Faculty. Well, not much different from The Faculty. It's almost like The Faculty is the eventual invasion that's being learned for.
It sounds like there's a lot more malice involved in
There
The
is.
Faculty.
In The Faculty, there's a lot more malice. I think people die.
Malice. Oh, people die regularly
Oh, yeah.
in that movie.
Yeah.
People die. My Teacher is an Alien was written by Bruce Coville and published in 1989, and it's the first in a 4-book series, followed up by My Teacher Fried My Brains, My Teacher Glows in the Dark, and My Teacher Flunked the Planet, which I didn't know until I researched this just before the show, that this was the first in a series, like a chronological series. I didn't know there was a continuing story, which, you know, I'm glad there is, because it kind of leaves off on an open-ended cliffhanger, sort of.
It does. I don't think I read this book. I think this is one that I didn't read.
Yeah, I've never read this either.
This
Okay,
is the first time
okay.
I read this, but I think I read My Teacher Glows in the Dark because I thought it was a Goosebumps book, and it wasn't. But they are very similar.
Yeah, it does feel like a Goosebumps book, and even the title reads a lot like a Goosebumps. Like, I told one of my friends that I was reading a book called My Teacher is an Alien, and they were like, "Oh, is that a Goosebumps?"
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
It could be, but different author. So
Well, maybe we could throw this guy's books into the rotation of the creepy books
Bruce
since it's the series.
maybe.
Bruce Coville, you have earned a spot on one of the chairs. They're folding chairs right now. One of the folding chairs of possible return to the show.
In the Justice League of ReLiterated,
Yes.
the Hall of Just Us.
Yeah, just us. Just the three of us.
You are
Just
one of
us.
Just Us, Bruce Coville. But yeah, Bruce Coville's a pretty cool guy. Born in 1950. He's 71 now.
He spent almost his entire life in New York, like Syracuse and the surrounding area, which is very interesting to me that he's never lived anywhere else. Because it seems like authors tend to move around a lot and gain more experiences so that they can write more. And he just kind of chills where he's at.
I think authors do different things to come up with a different... Because, I mean, Stephen King has lived in Maine forever, you know?
That's true.
That's the thing about reading. The more you read, the more experiences from around the world you get. And that's why it's important to read.
The more
Very
you know.
insightful.
Bing, bing, bing. Support your local libraries. Anyway, Bruce Coville has had a lot of jobs for staying in one spot. He's been a toy maker, he's been a grave digger, he's been a cookware salesman, an assembly line worker, and an elementary school teacher, as well as being an author of over 100 books.
Wow.
I haven't even written one. So
Yeah, I'm like, dang it. Like, he did a lot of stuff when he was writing books. Why haven't I written any books? It's a lot easier to read them and comment on them.
right?
Yeah, I like his website's pretty great. You can go there and learn a lot about him. It's really one of those sites that are both for kids and for adults, because they have things like you can contact him, you can write him and get personalized autographs, which is, you know, pretty cool for a kid and for an adult. I mean, I got I got autographs from Mick Foley, so I was very excited when that happened.
Yeah, we should order books, the next book in the series autographed by him, show it off. But he seems like a pretty chill guy. He's got a good Twitter following.
He has a fax on his page, and it has fun answers to fun questions. Do aliens pass gas? If so, what color is it? Is it poisonous? Oh, do they? The worst gas passed by any alien known to man is the dreaded Frablix Convernotornor of Expatian Delta 12. Radioactive, fluorescent, deadly at 3 parsecs to all other known life forms, and smells like 3-week-old swamp rat roadkill on a hot day at the equator of Ninax L2. The only living scientists to have observed the spectacular emissions of the Frabrix
Oh, come on, you can do it.
Kununventenor are permanently hospitalized on the sanatorium planet of Grelax 4. They weep constantly and beg for death. Sorry. He says sorry after the end of a lot of these.
I just want to note that Josh chose to read an answer with all those
hardest
words
one.
he was never going to be able to phonetically figure out.
Nope.
The dreaded Frablax Nuntventnor of Expatian Delta 12.
Hey, it was the most fun one to do, so I was going to do it.
Yeah, no, that's right.
You could have read Was Shakespeare an Alien too? No, sorry. Can you touch your eyeball with your tongue? No.
Can aliens pick their noses? Can and do. Of course, this partially depends on the number of noses on the alien in question and their location, respective of other appendages, tendrils, etc. But generally, yes. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, fun FAQs on his site.
I do want to mention when he said fax on his page, I thought he meant a fax number, and I was trying to work out the logistics of people faxing questions and answers back and forth. And then I'm just realizing it was FAQs.
Yes.
What do you call them? FAQs?
FAQs.
FAQs.
Is it just
if I'm saying it out loud because it's hard to say fax without somebody thinking that you're talking about a machine that you call and it prints paper out.
You can mistake it for one of a few words.
Yeah.
I blame game facts.
Game facts, yep. See, if you say game facts,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
That's
Absolutely.
why I just assumed everybody assumed it was facts because of game facts. I am barely wrong, and I'm sorry.
You can fax Bruce Coville, and then he'll fax you back an answer.
And it'll say,
give you the
21?
And then at the bottom it'll just say, sorry.
Get a fax machine, folks. All right.
Yep. So anyway, I say it's time we dive into the story. What do you say, gentlemen?
I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm down to go.
Chapter 1. We open our story with a young female protagonist, Susan Simmons, who we follow for the entire story.
I thought it was funny how this opened up on this Duncan Dougal and Peter Thompson. It's one of those stereotypical kid picking on another kid type of situation that kids would see, you know what I mean, in the schoolyard or whatever.
I love that it's the first words of a book is like, "Hey, geekoid, why do you read so much? Don't you know how to watch TV?" I feel like Bruce Coville's talking right to me.
Right? Did he get a Newbery for this? The Newberries would love that.
No.
No, I didn't figure. This wasn't exactly.
No, that is not a Newbery bait thing to say. Why do you read so much? Don't you know how to watch TV? But Duncan Dougal is kind of the school bully, the big dumb kid in class, picking on Peter Thompson, the nerdy kid.
Who just wants to read his goddamn book.
Yeah, just leave him alone and read his books. Never bothers anyone.
No, he's really smart, though. He has all the answers. I listened to the audiobook for this and read it because I've been driving in my car, so I was able to listen to the audiobook a couple times, and it's actually acted out by multiple people.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing I found out about Bruce Coville is he has a multicast audiobook company, actually.
Yeah.
And they produce audiobooks performed by multiple actors.
Okay, yeah, because, I mean, it was a cool way to do it. There was the narrator, and she, Susan, she played Susan, and then there was Peter. I think she might have done Susan and Peter. I can't remember, though, for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, like, Bruce Coville played her dad, and his wife played her mom, and Bruce Coville played another part, I think the music teacher.
The name of his company is called Full Cast Audio.
Nice.
And if I can just plug myself for a moment, I do something similar with a group called The Online Stage, where we do kind of the same thing with public domain and classic works.
Right.
Like I was the narrator in Great Gatsby and had a bunch of voice actors performing all the different the roles and dialogue of everybody. So yeah, look up The Online Stage and buy many of our audiobooks. We're on Audible.
Very cool. You guys started doing that at the near the beginning of COVID, didn't you?
I've been doing that for a few years now.
Oh, okay. I thought
you're thinking of my other thing.
Oh yeah, your other online the other online plays you were doing.
My other audiobook business.
Yeah.
Oh no, that one. Yeah.
That's it. I have a pseudonym who reads romance novels.
Romance.
We'll say yes, romance.
Yeah. So let me say it. The writing is exquisite.
Triple exquisite.
Yeah. I got to hear a clip one time. It was fantastic. I almost instantly came, but
I almost instantly puked.
And that's what does it for Josh.
Yeah, no kink shaming.
You're into puke?
Nah, not for real.
Oh. Anyways, children's book. back to the children's book. We that's like page 1 we got through. Yeah.
Yeah, we made it through page 1. I noticed that she has a I'm guessing like it's a, I don't know, G.I. Joe sized doll of Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. And apparently she blows into his feet or something. I have this imagining of what she's doing, but it looks like she's blowing into his feet and like playing songs out of them.
And it shoots out a special beam cannon.
Yeah, that kills aliens.
That kills aliens. Oh, this is going to be a 2-parter of a fucking like 80-page book.
Yeah, no. I'm good with the Piccolo thing. We can keep moving.
But anyways, Peter is getting picked on by Duncan Dougal and Susan and her friend Stacy Benoit. No relation to Chris Benoit, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because if there was, she'd be dead.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. That's so bad.
Oh, that was rough.
Although this book was published in 1989, so this is before that happened.
No, so she'd be alive then still.
She'd still be alive.
Well, obviously, the story is about her partially.
Fuck. Poor little Stacy. Oh, God.
Anyways.
We're not going to go into explaining that one. It's too sad.
Bing it.
Yeah, just bing it if you're interested in getting the reference. Chris Benoit. Yeah, find out how he ended. Anyways, Duncan is fighting with Peter, and then a handsome blonde-haired man comes up and picks them both up by the shirt, just lifts them off the ground. Like, whoa, this dude is strong.
I saw that happen in real life. My teacher, Mr. Terrell, he saw these two kids fighting out in the hall, and he just straight up picked them up, and you're like, holy fuck. Did Mr. Terrell literally just pick those guys up off the ground?
That sounds awesome.
Come to find out, he is in the National Guard Reserve. So even though he looks like, a schlubby middle-aged dude, he's actually ripped underneath his clothes. So it's like, right. But when that happened, you're like, oh, fuck. I'm not going to fuck with that guy ever again. So.
You guys think you're tough? Yeah, nothing like picking up probably preteens. You know what I mean?
I mean, this was 10th grade. He was my 10th grade teacher.
10th grade,
so
damn.
10th graders?
Yeah.
Oh, man. These kids in the book are just 6th graders.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, this guy is kind of like straight up robotic about the way he talks. He's kind of a strange new teacher in town.
So he breaks up the fight, and the kids are all like, damn, who's that? And then they get to class, and the kids in Ms. Schwartz's class, in which Susan and Peter and Duncan, I believe, are all in, they discover that Ms. Schwartz is out.
She just left suddenly. Hadn't she gone on vacation? She went on vacation, and then the whole school was on vacation, wasn't it, for a week?
It was spring break.
Yeah, it was spring break. So they come back, and she just didn't come back. She just left a letter for Dr. Bleekman, which is the principal.
And Dr. Bleekman introduces the class to the replacement teacher, Mr. John Smith.
Nothing fishy about the most common name in America. Nothing at all.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I wonder if he's related to John Smith and John Smith. So Susan raises her hand and asks Dr. Bleekman, the principal, what happened to Ms. Schwartz. And Dr. Bleekman says that's a private matter.
Which she doesn't necessarily believe, because she thinks that the teacher would not do that to them. She would have told them that she was leaving. But she's also a sixth grader, so she might not understand,
Yeah,
Maybe she fell in love with somebody and she decided to move to Brazil.
it's quite possible.
Maybe her aunt died during the middle of a competition, and that's why she needed a couple days break.
Right.
Also possible. Or maybe she was framed for the murder of her father and exiled.
It's anything could happen.
Maybe she was an alien.
Maybe the teacher is an
That's it.
alien.
That's the
Mrs.
story.
Schwartz was an
It was
alien.
Mrs. Schwartz.
That's the story. My teacher. Yeah. You thought it was Mr. Smith, didn't
No.
you?
Gotcha.
And she got deported.
Yep. Because we're not talking about space aliens. We're talking about illegal aliens.
Yes, Ms. Schwartz, the illegal alien.
But that's not actually true. Miss Schwartz just gone, and she's
just
not.
gone.
She didn't tell anybody what's going on. She just went away, and Dr. Bleakman has hired John Smith to watch over the class. And John Smith, or Mr. Smith, as he's called for the rest of the book, pretty much, he isn't into the way that Mrs. Schwartz ran her class. She ran her class in a way that was like kind of free. They would do a play. They would read regular books and talk about them. And the book for the class, the textbook for the class, is called
Rockets and Flags.
Rockets and Flags. Rockets and Flags.
Which sounds like, wow, patriotic indoctrination propaganda.
Right. And so he wants them to go back to reading that. She asks if they're going to do the play. He says, no, we aren't doing a play. We've got curriculum to follow. And
And Susan hates this because she wants to be an actress when she grows up.
Yep. She plans to be an actress.
She's all about doing the school play, but Mr. Smith ain't having that. He's a serious business kind of alien teacher.
Nope. This guy, he's a crumb bum. He's like, you can't fucking do nothing.
He called The Hobbit a waste of time.
I mean,
I agree with that.
the Hobbit is a waste of time.
It is.
Saying you like The Hobbit doesn't make you cool. Saying you like Tolkien doesn't make you cool.
My co-host is an alien.
But yeah, this changes everything about the way the class is done. None of the kids like it because they love Mrs. Schwartz or Miss Schwartz. She's an excellent teacher. She actually sounds like a good teacher that cares about her kids.
She doesn't want to follow the prescribed curriculum to a T. She'd rather cultivate their minds with literature and performing arts and actual stimulation, actual mental stimulation, not just boring textbook stuff.
That can't possibly work. If we know anything, we know that we need to be doing things the way people did it 100 years ago and never change from that way. And that's the only way to make kids grow up right.
Yep.
Send them to work.
That's what made America great.
Yep.
Standardized tests are the perfect way to measure everyone's ability of knowledge.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Kids all learn exactly the same. You just have to push it into their heads as hard as you can. It's that everyone knows this.
If they're failing, they ain't trying.
Sometimes you need a board to push it in.
Yep.
And capital punishment to finish the job.
There we go.
Yeah.
It'll work. It just works. Yeah, America. It just works.
America. It just works. That's how my granddaddy did it. That's how my daddy did it. And by God, that's what made America great.
So Susan decides to pass a note in class to Stacy about Mr. Smith being a creepazoid alien. And before she can hand it out, Mr. Smith comes around, collects papers, and he collects the note without noticing.
What did that note say exactly?
Something about her being a creepazoid.
Mr. Smith is a total creepazoid. He has totally ruined this class. Our whole year has gone down the tubes. Little typo there. The man is a total Philistine.
She just learned that word, Philistine.
I have a problem with her using this word. When she uses it, it just sounds like a slur. I looked up the definition. It's not a slur, but just the way she uses it, it sounds like one.
Right. It's actually a portmanteau of the name Philip Stein, who is an alien and a total creepazoid and just no fun to be around.
I knew it from the Bible.
Right.
And then I was just like, oh, okay. Well, it's just weird how they say it and the way they use it.
It sounds like
right.
It belongs to a country.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think they were a group of people that the Jews exterminated because God told them to.
Sounds about
in
right.
the Bible, maybe.
Goliath was a Philistine, right?
Oh, maybe that was something.
Yeah, we'll have to bing it.
Yeah.
We don't have the facts to accurately talk about it here. But yeah, that's your vocabulary word for today, Philistine, which is described in the book as someone who has no appreciation for art and beauty. But the note apparently gets swept up with all the quizzes being turned in and is now in the possession of Mr. Smith.
So she needs to get this thing back. She wants to get this note, which her plan for getting this note back is a little bit off to me. Like, I get that you don't want to get in trouble for the note, but I don't know if you should, like, go into another person's home to retrieve something like this.
Well, first they have recess, and she tries to get back into the school by pretending to have to go to the bathroom, but Mr. Smith just tells her to wait, and then she fakes like a stomach ache to go in and see the nurse, but I think he just walks her straight to the nurse's office, right?
Because they were about ready to go in, so he was like, "Okay, that's fine. You can go into the nurse's office since we're going in anyway." But my question is, did you guys have recess in 6th grade?
Sixth grade? No.
See, I didn't have recess in 6th grade.
No,
that was considered middle school, and we didn't. have
that
recess
was the first
then.
year of middle school for me. That wasn't the last year of elementary school, like here.
dude, my 6th, 7th, and 8th grade all consisted of having a period of lunch and a period of outside just being able to hang out.
Wow, you got recess in middle school?
Lucky duck.
I got recess in high school, pretty much.
I mean, we got an hour for lunch, but you didn't have.
Yeah,
that was just
you
lunch
didn't
hour.
have to stay on campus. You didn't
That's
have to
just
stay on
open
campus.
campus lunch.
We didn't
That's
have open campus. You had to stay
not
at
like
school.
Corralled physical activity on a playground.
Right, but okay,
Period.
so going outside, like I can remember in 6th grade, running from a few different people that were chasing me and trying to hurt me. I clearly remember that.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to go outside. We could go in the gym or just stay at the table that you were chilling at.
And we went in the gym in the winter, but during the summer we went outside.
Yeah, we never allowed to go outside.
It must have been because of how small your school was, because my middle school was down in southern Michigan.
It was also out in the middle of a cornfield, so
Meh.
there's not really anything around. Pigeon was 5 miles away.
Huh.
Bad Axe was 10.
My middle school was in Auburn, and it was actually the same building as the high school. But the middle school only got a lunch period, and they had to stay in the building. 9th grade on, we were allowed to leave the campus for lunch. But anyways, we digress.
Well, regardless, she wasn't able to actually get in at recess and get the note. So she comes up with the plan to enter Mr. Smith's house without his knowledge.
What kind of a kid thinks that this is a good idea, honestly? For a fucking note? Are you stupid? Yeah. Breaking and entering?
I know. That was like, man.
To avoid the teacher hearing or reading what she really thinks about him.
Right.
Yep. Breaking and entering to get that note back.
So she follows Mr. Smith back to his house, and when he goes inside, she hears some terrible, terrible noise, and she doesn't like him, but she doesn't want anything bad to happen to him.
Yeah, she's not a monster.
Yeah, she heard an unearthly howl that she described as someone trying to put a cat in a blender.
So she goes into the house to investigate, make sure that he's okay.
The front door was unlocked, so she enters quietly, steps in, finds that his house is not very, very furnitured.
No, there's no furniture, really. And she continues to try to investigate this noise that she's hearing. And she ends up finding Mr. Smith sitting in front of a mirror, like a vanity. And he pulls his face off. And he's got a wild-looking, like, green head with orange, bulbous eyes. Were they bulbous? I know they were big and orange. His enormous orange eyes slanted up and away from his nose like a pair of butterfly wings.
So the classic Grey's eyes.
Yeah.
Only green skin with orange eyes.
And purple teeth.
And purple teeth.
And no lips. So apparently this race does not believe in dick sucking. So
hey, you need lips for the other one too. If you're doing it right. You're doing it right.
I was going to say, well, technically.
Guys, this is where we discover something. This is where we discover that their teacher is an alien.
It is. I thought that was pretty clear by the description of what he was looking like.
Like if you weren't paying attention to the title of the book.
Yeah.
you now know that their teacher is an alien.
That description sounds mighty Canadian. Purple teeth, orange eyes, slanted up, and green skin. Yeah.
2 rows of rounded purplish teeth.
Yo.
Turns out that noise that she heard was actually this crazy alien music.
And we find out that his actual name is Broxholm.
Because he calls back to the mothership. And it was like a, trying to think of what the word is. It's basically a TV. But the face in the mirror said something that sounded like,
I knew you'd try to pronounce this.
Yep. Everybody take a turn trying to pronounce this. Ooh, that was good.
Igen Rurzenix. Igen Gunner.
To which Mr. Smith, or Broxholm, responds, "It is good to hear our mother tongue. I cannot wait to return to the ship and have this language implant removed, so I can speak the true tongue and not this barbaric garble."
Yep, which irritates Susan. She's like, whose language you calling barbaric? Which it's like, English isn't the only language here.
I was going to say, English is pretty barbaric if you think about it. We just steal from every other language.
It's
what
true.
makes it the best.
Yep, we win. Might makes right.
Yep.
Winner writes history.
Why you think everybody's learning English?
Oof, don't get us started.
All right.
It's during the conversation with the man on the ship or the alien on the ship, I should say, that we find out that Broxholm is going to select students to bring back for study. So he's going to kidnap some kids, take them on the ship.
So Susan fucks off out of there, runs back home.
Before she leaves, should I try to recover my note? He's a fucking alien! No! Go home!
Right. No, you get the fuck out of his house. And even if he wasn't an alien, what are you doing in his house?
Exactly!
Leave this man's house alone. So maybe he's got a skin condition. That is no reason to be in there breaking into his house.
We learned a few episodes ago that there are people that are blue.
Right. So when she gets home, she lets her mom know that Miss Schwartz has left. She's no longer at the school and Mr. Smith is there, and her mom seems to know about Mr. Smith. She even mentions that she thinks he's handsome.
And then that night, she tries to call Peter because she's got to tell somebody about this.
She figures he's the only one who's going to believe her.
She was as nervous as a marshmallow at a bonfire. Not quite as folksy as Jerry Spinelli's, but but yeah, she can't wait to confide in Peter. But the next day at class, after they say the Pledge of Allegiance, like good obedient American children ought to be indoctrinated to do, Smith/Broxholm summons her to his desk and says, "I think you lost something yesterday," and hands her the note. And that kind of resolves that. I don't think there's any...
Yeah, he doesn't even
He doesn't make anything about it.
He doesn't do anything. She freaks out, thinking like, oh, is he messing with me? Did he see me? She's just overplaying this in her head. She's got bad anxiety about it.
She interprets it as him sending her a message. "I've got your number, kid. Don't mess with me."
He's probably at his house. He goes, a folded note. Well, it's not to me. I'll make sure to give it back to the owner tomorrow.
It's my civil responsibility not to read what is on this personal communique.
Yeah.
Is what an alien would say.
She really wanted to talk to Peter, though. So finally recess came, and Peter was reading a book called A Princess of Mars.
I wonder if that's a real book.
It is. It's where John Carter comes from.
I was going to say, is that part of the John Carter series?
Yeah, that's where John Carter comes from, I believe. A Princess of Mars was
by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Oh, okay.
Yep.
And it's a good movie. I enjoy that movie.
1912. Wow.
That one's pretty good, but there's a sci-fi original version called A Princess on Mars that is worth watching.
I'll check it out.
Neato. Those space science fiction fantasy goes as far back as 1912 at the very least.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean...
So she goes up to Peter. she has to interrupt what he's doing, and so she says, so what's going on? I said, oh, I love this part. What a stupid line. I'm glad I'm a girl, because when I get older, the guys are going to have to come up with these lines when they want to start a conversation. Now, there's that one job I'm glad to let them have, really.
Oh.
Well, hold on.
Really?
No, wait.
As a single dude, don't get me started.
I want to note that just pages earlier, this exchange happened. Her mother, oh, Edward, my mother will reply, you seem to think you can treat Susan the same way you would a boy. Can you believe she actually says that? And then later she says, I'm glad that I'm a girl because I'm not going to have to put any work into trying to get a relationship with somebody. They'll just all come to me.
That's what she supposes her mother will reply.
Oh,
Interestingly
okay.
enough.
Okay. So she said it before. Her mom said it before. Or got her feeling that way.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, as a shy dude who's single now, it kind of sucks. Like this old expectation of initiating that contact.
It's a hard, I can't imagine. It's a hard time to try to navigate that, I think. I don't know.
What I'm trying to figure out is they initiate the conversation, I reply back, and then I hear nothing.
Well,
What the
it's
fuck?
because your reply sucks, apparently.
No, they're like, hi. Oh, hi, how are you? Nothing.
No, dude, no. When they say, oh, hi, you have to answer back, like, I was just lifting some weights and looking at my
Yeah,
wall,
that's not me. I'm not
hard
Vin Diesel as much as I want to be.
I know,
Hanging
but
out with my family.
My
hanging out
family.
with my family. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is the expectation that you're supposed to get out of the text message meeting? I mean, I ended up doing it the old-fashioned way, and I'm glad.
I mean, I wasn't even originally talking about dating app stuff. I was talking about it like in general.
Dating in general would suck because the other stuff doesn't happen. I don't know, and you don't want to be forward, but you don't want to be a creep. You know what I mean?
You definitely don't want to be a creep. No.
Yeah. No. So it's like how do you approach it? Like the stars have to align,
Right?
You know?
How do you navigate the ancient expectation of delivering the initial pickup line and not creep a woman out by delivering a pickup line?
I think you don't go with a pickup line and you just start talking to people. Like,
No, I never
and you
have
see how
gone with a pickup line, but still.
Hey, baby, some stupid thing coming out of my mouth that'll never work.
Just anything that I can come up with, I know is going to be received as an attempt to hit on her. And
I just talk to random people
tough to
in
navigate.
public. I mean, for me, obviously, I'm not trying to date anybody right now, but I'm saying like what I do that makes it easier for me to talk to just about anybody is I just talk to people no matter where I am. I'll do it at like stores. I'll make jokes. If I'm standing in a line, or if I'm standing in this aisle and there's another person right near me and we're looking at the same thing, I'll try and come up with some stupid joke to say about it. And whether they laugh or not, I always laugh. And if you can make yourself laugh, what else do you need?
I've seen this happen in real life. That's why I'm like, yep, that's something Harold does.
So then if it's just normal for you to talk to people, like random people, then it's a lot easier to just talk to a random person and be comfortable.
In theory.
Yep, that's a great theory, Harold. We like it. Maybe we'll have to make a hypothesis out of it and perform an experiment.
I would be willing to perform an experiment. All right, anyways.
I was going to say.
That's, now we're sounding like aliens. Let's experiment on the dating situation in America 2021.
While we're talking about a book, while we're on a book podcast.
A book podcast.
I have run all the simulations. By that I mean I've watched a lot of pornography. And these relationships always seem to begin with delivering a pizza or performing a service of some sort. Anyways.
Yeah. Susan.
So what's going on?
Susan.
She says.
Needs Peter's help. So she gets his attention and basically says that she needs his help. And eventually she gets to the point where she says that our teacher's an alien.
Right.
And he's And he's so obsessed with sci-fi, he thinks that she's fucking with him.
So he starts to cry, thinking that he feels betrayed. That he thought that she's usually on his side. Now she's picking on him too.
Yep. She says she's not, and he assumes it's a game now. So she says yes, and then she has to like convince him it's a game, but it's not a game. And then like, you know, they're considering breaking into Smith's house again for a second time.
So Peter is like, let's break in for this game. Let's break into this guy's house. Let's do another
Let's use our
B&E.
imagination on the best ways to break and enter
Yep.
into our teacher's house to find out if he's an alien.
It'll be a fun game. Yeah. So
fun game.
I guess they're going along with this for a second, but then he finally believes her that you gotta, you know, this has to be true. Something's up. I think something's up with Peter. I'd like to read the rest of the books now, actually. It got me
I'm
thinking.
interested in Peter's story.
Yeah.
He's an unhappy kid. He's got just his dad around. Like, I don't
So he claims.
Well,
I don't
his
know.
dad
His
is
dad
kind
around.
of around.
Yeah.
He seems a lot like, I'm trying to think of his name from Wrinkle in Time, the ginger.
Oh, yeah, Calvin.
Calvin, yeah. Calvin's family didn't give a fuck about him. Same situation, just less people.
See,
Right, he had like 11 brothers and sisters, or he was one of 11.
I think you guys are missing some key points about Peter and what he does throughout the book, like, and how it comes to plan B. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
So-
I figured that was going to go that way.
Right, but here, yeah, and here's the deal though. Like, so Peter says that his oh my God, okay, let's continue going. I just had a revelation.
Oh,
Oh,
snap.
snap.
I'm excited.
I just had a revelation. Okay,
Is it their teacher is an alien?
no, it's someone.
Because we had that revelation like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's someone else is an alien. In My Teacher is an alien.
Ooh. Is it Peter?
It is Peter. It's Peter. Peter. I think Peter's an alien.
You think Peter's an alien?
I don't think so.
I do.
I don't think so.
No. Duncan.
He's way too into the fact of wanting to go into space, that he's never been there before.
Wouldn't an alien pretend that they'd never been to space before if they're trying to fit in with human beings? Okay, now hold on a second.
Now this is the starting at the conclusion and forcing the facts to fit into the conclusion.
Well, no, just listen. Hear me out. At some point here, there is a situation where a kid goes to stay at someone's house for a few days. Okay, and this kid that lives in this house normally has a dad who doesn't care about anything he does. He can do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And Duncan happens to go to stay at his house for those couple days. Did they mention Duncan Dougal after that?
Yeah, he's hiding in the closet, crying.
At school?
No, at the kid's house, but he does go back to school.
Does he go back to school?
Duncan is back at the school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the very end of the book, Duncan's mentioned. He goes back to normal, picking on everyone he can.
Okay. Revelation is over. Never mind. So that's the book. Peter's not an alien.
No.
But my teacher is.
The teacher is, though.
So they figure out they're going to do their next felony, or is that just a misdemeanor? Is B&E a felony or misdemeanor?
It depends on what
They're going to commit their
next.
next crime during the night of the PTA meetings, because Susan is old enough to be left by herself in 6th grade, which, seems
checks
right.
out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least checked out then. I guess I don't know the rules now.
And Peter's dad doesn't care, so he can go.
And yes, I'm really planning to search his house. I couldn't bring myself to call it a break-in,
But it was.
but it is. It's a B&E.
Yeah, it was definitely a B&E. Was the door open?
They enter through the rear cellar, like the hinges are loose or something. And
Okay.
Basically, it's rotted, so they're able to pull it open.
Oh, so yeah, definitely break and enter.
Yep. Definitely
Yep.
breaking and entering.
Yeah, and they go through the house and they don't find anything. He has some weird, pretty normal food in the fridge, but no furniture. And then they go upstairs and she can't figure out how the mirror works or whatever.
No, she does. She just doesn't want
yep.
to turn it on because she doesn't want them to know.
And then they see the attic door just before they're going to leave. And I think it's funny that Peter's like, well, it's just the attic. Well, yeah, where the fuck do you hide shit?
Duh.
Like,
Yeah.
why would we avoid the attic and be like, well, it was nowhere else in the open throughout the house. Must not be up there.
The kitchen had nothing weird in it. The bathroom medicine cabinet had nothing weird in it, like Excedrin, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, the weird part is that there was no furniture. So
Yeah, just the weirdest thing about it is there's a lack of furniture in the house.
Right, but an alien would make sure things were not weird.
for the most part, I mean, my apartment was very sparsely. It had like one chair in it and a TV. So
That's furniture.
you don't need a lot.
But they do end up going in the attic, and what they find up there is Miss Schwartz trapped in some kind of force field that allows telepathic communication.
She's suspended in midair. Her hair's all sticking out, and she's got a frightened look frozen on her face. Do you guys have illustrations in your copies?
I do.
Mine are small.
Yeah, they're very small, but they're still illustrations.
Okay. Well, I have a paperback, and it's they have full page illustrations, maybe once every few chapters, whatever. But they're pretty good illustrations.
Yeah, I like how her hair is everywhere.
They do have an illustration.
Are they like pencil gray?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got them too, yep.
They have an illustration of what Ms. Schwartz looks like, and they discover that they can telepathically communicate with her by touching the force field.
She lets the kids know the plan, that Broxholm is going to take 5 students back with him. He plans to select the best, the worst, and 3 most average kids.
And the plan is to bring them back to the house and head into space on the night of May 26th.
Which is pretty close.
Yep, it's coming up. It's like in a week from that point.
And it happens to be the same night as the school event.
The big concert. The big concert that Susan's going to play piccolo at.
Oh, yep, she's playing with Piccolo there. So she starts to try and figure out a way to expose Broxholm or Smith. And her first thing to try is she attempts to faint close to Broxholm and like grab his ears and pull his mask off.
It's just solid fucking plan.
Yeah. And she whiffs it big time. She fucking falls on the ground and he gets out of the way just in time and she doesn't grab the mask. And then she's sent to the nurse's office and that doesn't work out. But her mom is a worrywart. So when she finds out, she's going to have to stay in bed. And so after she sits there thinking about it, she finally gets a hold of Peter and they want to go get pictures of Mrs. Schwartz, and that's gonna be the proof. So they want to do a third B&E, but this time I'd say they obtained the probable cause illegally, but I'd say they have probable cause now. Broxholm would have a pretty good way to get out of this in court. It would be fruit of the poisonous tree. So it's maybe I do have her kidnapped in my house, but the way you got the information. That said, I'm sure other evidence would convict him. So they decide to go get pictures over there, and she has to stay home all weekend because her mom is worried after the fainting spell. But Stacy calls her on Saturday and asks, basically, like, what is there something going on with Mr. Smith or
all the kids the word is starting to get around because I think Peter started talking about the plan, and now all the kids at school are getting anxious. They're acting out in class when they were well behaved before because they don't want to be the best or the worst student in class.
Right, he's going to take the best, the worst, and the 3 most average students when he leaves.
So Duncan turns around, tries to be really good.
Yep, he's giving apples to the teacher and sitting up straight.
And the good kids in class are trying to be assholes.
They stage a fight with each other.
Yep.
Stacy Benoit and Mike Ferran.
Your mother wears polyester. Ooh, sick burn.
Good one. Slap him. You guys see the illustration?
Yeah.
Stacy
is bigger than the boy
shirt.
because it's that time of life, and her sweet plaid shirt.
And her sweet plaid flannel
shit.
shirt tucked into her jeans, just decking this kid in the striped shirt. Even though the story says she slapped him, like she's straight up.
Yeah, that looks like a closed fist right there.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a closed fist punch.
It's like a scene out of Street Fighter.
But then again, that's why his hand is cocked back, ready to go right back. Like, well, she hit me.
Better get in a fist fight. We don't want to be the teacher's pets.
So they go back out to recess. Man, I'm so jealous that they had recess.
It was overrated.
That was when we got to play Power Rangers.
Not in 6th grade, you didn't play Power
Not
Rangers.
in 6th grade.
I learned that. I said I got chased around by people all the time. They tried to beat me up.
You're like, hey guys, want to play Power Rangers? And they're like, get them! Get them!
We're fucking 12. We can't play imagination games anymore. Fucking guy.
Oh, here comes Harold. He wants to play Power Rangers again. But yeah, shit's getting out of control.
Yeah, Susie knows something's up. She's like, what's going on? How do they know this? And Peter's like, I told them. She's like, they believed you? But yeah, apparently they just believed him because she's the one that made them all believe.
Because she's been so trustworthy in the past.
Basically, these kids are smarter than they appear. They seem to be almost adult with figuring out bullshit.
Yeah, like, it's almost like it was written by an adult.
Weird.
Yet at the same time, these seem more like 6th graders than like Ender's Game.
Yeah, for sure.
These kids definitely logic like school children.
That's definitely true.
There's even a rumor that Peter and Susan are going steady.
Oh yeah, and they
Because
both
they've been
grossed
spending
out
so
by
much
that.
time.
This was
Yeah.
another one where she was like out loud, yuck, 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 and then she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
It's like, damn, Susan.
Well,
And he's like, "It's okay, I feel the same." And then all of a sudden she's like, "What? Excuse
What do you mean
me?"
you feel the same way? I am a catch.
Yep. And she's probably like, "You know what? I do like you."
You know what? Just for that, we're going out. And we're going to
going
make
out
out.
now.
We're going to make out point. Bring your chapstick. We're going to be making out for hours. But that's not the plan. The plan is to break and enter to their teacher's house.
During music time, she's supposed to be at school learning how to play piccolo, and she is going to skip school and go break into Broxholm's house. Peter will be out there too, but because his dad doesn't care what he does, so he can not go to school and nothing will get said.
And then Susan invites Duncan because nobody's going to miss that guy at school. Not even his parents are going to miss him,
Right?
apparently.
And they need a lookout.
Yep, they need a lookout. So Susan and Peter break into the house again, and Duncan is on lookout.
Well, they're getting good at breaking and entering. Now they know they're evolving with their MO. They're like, let's get a lookout so that we can be in there longer, or...
they also know how to get in fast because they already broke their way in. So they just keep using that same way.
Next, they're going to have a bike with a radio flyer tied to the back like a trailer.
As in what?
As a getaway vehicle.
As a getaway
As a getaway vehicle. For when they're breaking, they get there, they run out, they jump in it and start taking off. They're adding new elements.
Well, for that, they'll need a getaway driver.
They got Duncan as the getaway, as the watch out. He's a big dumb animal. You could get him to pedal fast, I'm sure.
Yeah, we figure out how dumb he is in a little while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Susan and Peter make it up to the attic, and they snap some pictures with their film camera because it's 1989.
Okay, so mine is an updated version where they have a memory card in the camera.
Does she say to go get a record of Stars and Stripes Forever earlier in the book? Or did they say to go get a CD?
Yeah, from the library.
Was it a record, though?
I think so. Yeah, I think I remember reading that.
Because mine was record. But if they updated it, it
like an
should
album?
be like album or CD or something like that.
I don't remember where that is in the book.
Then again, vinyl is big now, so they might have just said record. This is where, they mentioned it before, but this is where it confirms that the time in the force field is a lot different than real time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She thinks that it's only been a few minutes, Miss Schwartz does.
All right, but they snap a bunch of pictures. Peter takes the photos with Susan standing next to the force field for scale, and they hear a scream all of a sudden.
More of a yell, but they both recognize the voice. It was Duncan.
Of course it was fucking Duncan.
Can't do anything right. God damn it, Duncan.
They find him at the communication vanity. He activated it and is being chewed out by an alien on the other end of the line, and he's just screaming his fucking head off.
Which, I mean, it makes sense.
Ask him why he came in. I got bored.
He was only out there for like 5 or 10 minutes.
And there's a illustration on this page so you can kind of see what the alien looks like.
My illustration is redacted.
Well, that's sad.
Redacted along with that digital camera update in your version of the book.
No, that part is in there, but it does say record. It does say record at the library.
Oh, interesting.
Well, what else do they do to the book? Because he has to go to the drugstore to get photos developed.
But they still do that.
I guess they do still do that.
Yeah, they take the memory card to get the photos developed.
Yeah, you can go do that at Walgreens. Takes like 10 minutes.
So that he didn't need to update it, just that one part about the memory card, and that's it.
If you're trying to update a novel from the 80s, maybe, like, you can just take that memory card and stick it in like a projector or something. Hook a laptop to a projector and project it on the moon, or at least on the side of a building.
Yeah,
Or
but
something.
that
That would take some extensive rewrites.
Yeah, that would take some extensive rewrite.
He's already gone to the drugstore to get photos developed. Gosh.
Right. Shyla does it all the time. I know what you like.
If you're going to do it right, you take the memory card to the school during the concert and go to the AV booth or whatever, like stick it in the computer, show it on the projector, boom. Everyone at the assembly at the concert knows what's going on.
Yeah, but it would still show up as just the blue streak that they get.
But we don't know that yet.
Yes, because Duncan and Peter go to the drugstore / to Peter's house to hide Duncan, and Susan goes back to school.
And she gets caught by Bamwick, the music teacher.
So she fakes about why she was late, but she does get out of class for a little while to help to study with Mr. Bamwick. So she was that was pretty good. But when she gets back to class, she hears Mr. Smith say, "Miss Simmons, I want you to stay after school. I need to talk to you about Neo." Sorry, I had to get that in there. So at this point, she and him have this little conference, and he's very coy about it. He doesn't say exactly that he is an alien. He's just very sly about it. But then at the very end,
I know what you did today.
He says, "Don't break into my house again."
So he knows.
You stay the fuck out of my house.
And he's hella strong because he grabs this book and he dropped the book. His fingers had left dents half an inch deep in the cover. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. He tells her he's here to learn and that the universe is a big place. There are more things going on in it than you can possibly imagine. So it's important to learn all we can. Otherwise, terrible things can happen. Terrible things. That's my job, to prevent terrible things. Because I'm an alien and also your teacher.
Right.
Therefore, your teacher is an alien. Now stay out of my house.
So Peter ends up catching up with her and letting her know that Duncan is stashed at his house. He's upset that she brought him, and the film is being developed. But they also come up with an alternate plan, or Peter tells her he has an alternate plan.
Plan B, as it were.
Yep.
Terminate the alien before it becomes viable.
Nope. He plans to go with him. He wants to be taken to Brock's home, and he wants to go up into space because he doesn't really have much life for him on Earth, which is why I'm saying, like, it feels like he's almost like the plan B is that he gets Brock's home out if they get caught. That's why he already has a plan B. But he's been helping to catch.
Right. He doesn't, he's not convinced that the aliens are here with malicious intent. He thinks they might just be studying them. They might be peaceful, and he plans to offer himself to be taken.
Isn't that what an alien would say to pretend like they're not an alien? I think so.
No, I doubt.
No.
No. Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
But see, though,
No.
that can't be true. An alien would always say that. Like, right? An alien would say that.
How's that hell?
The regular person
hell,
might
Harold?
too.
Digging a nice grave on that hill?
No, I'm just saying an alien would say that. I'm not saying Peter is an alien right now. I'm just saying an alien would say that.
Well, I was
You're
going to bring
disagreeing
up...
that an alien would say that. I think an alien would say that to try and throw you off. Maybe Peter isn't, but an alien would say that. That's still true.
I think we're going to have to read further on into the series to figure that out.
I do like this theory of Peter's. It's maybe these people are really peaceful. Maybe they've seen how much we fight, and they're afraid if we get much farther into space, we'll cause some huge war. That's the fucking reason. That is the reason why aliens are, if they are aliens, they are monitoring our planet for that reason and that reason alone.
We will drop bombs at the drop of a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Bomb your bomb with our bombs.
They know if they show their face, they're just going to get bombed.
Yep.
We literally just read Ender's Game, where they,
Now, to be fair,
yeah,
the buggers did attack.
twice.
Yes, twice.
But they weren't going to do it again.
But they weren't going to do it again. And to be fair to the humans, there was no way that they could make that known that they were never going to do it again.
Right.
That's why the queens are just at the end is mostly like, yeah, that was our bad. We deserve it.
A little bit, yeah.
Just don't eradicate us completely. Take the egg and start us over again.
Go plan it for me.
Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah, Peter plans to leave. He plans to go with Broxholm.
I think he's just a super depressed kid without much parental involvement in his life.
Sounds like a good cover for an alien.
And he's constantly reading science fiction, so he has the interest in going out into space. But if he was an alien, why would he read all these science fiction books that he knows would be true or not true?
Seems like something an alien would do.
Nah, doesn't.
To remind him of home, maybe.
Yeah, if you're trying to throw people off and you're good at it, you do things that humans would do. You're never going to suspect a kid who dreams of the stars.
But anyways,
that's good. Let's move on. Come on. We're done with this book. It's almost over.
Yeah,
Harold needs to go to bed. The photos are developed, and Ms. Schwartz does not appear in any of them. All they see is like a blue streak across the photos. Does it say that the ones where Susan is in them, that she's still in them, though?
Yeah, Susan's just standing there, but it's next to a blue streak. But anyhow, they go back and they're freaking out about being taken by aliens. And Mr. Bamwick is like, "Oh my God, I'm cutting the song Stars and Stripes Forever from the concert program because it's just."
He's been dreaming of this song being performed
for years.
For years.
Yep. For years.
And this was going to be his year, and he's just now all these kids are freaking out about something, and they're acting all weird, and nobody's learning the song. Not even Susan, who I was counting on for that piccolo solo.
Yep.
At the end.
So he cuts it, and they end up getting to the night of the big concert, and everybody's falling apart, and they're freaking out, and Susan kind of gets an idea to annoy Broxholm, because one thing we haven't mentioned throughout the entire book is that Broxholm hates the sound of music. He
Earth music.
He didn't like
Earth music.
Earth music. Yeah, he didn't like the piccolo early on, and he has made
Cat
other
in the
comments.
Blender is more his style.
Yeah, that's why they call him, or that's why she was calling him a Philistine, is because he didn't like any of the music or anything. So anyhow, she decides to start playing her piccolo, and he's like cupping his ears and telling her to stop. So she starts playing it more, and all the other kids kind of catch on. So they start playing it, and they get him into the corner. And Mr. Bamwick, he hears them playing the Stars and Stripes Forever, and they're playing it perfectly. So he's like, "No, don't stop," even though people are yelling to stop.
They're playing it. They're playing it.
But they back him into the corner, and they get him to take his mask off, and everybody sees that he's an alien. And just at that moment,
like torturing him, dude.
Yeah.
He's in agony. Make it stop.
Well, he's obviously an evil alien. So
the kids are like, "Take off your mask. Take off your mask."
She got him with that trill. She hits that trill. And that's what did it.
She hit a high C like never before.
I could go for a high C.
But anyways, they get him to take off his mask. Everybody sees him, and then Peter kicks open the door and is like, "Broxholm, let's go!" And they leave. So by the time they get there to his house, his UFO is already escaping into the sky, and Miss Schwartz has been released, and Peter has now run away with Broxholm into the stars. And that's how this one ends.
I mean, Susan learned something. She learned that Peter was her best friend.
And also possibly an alien.
No, was not an alien.
No, definitely not an alien.
We'll have to check another book.
Just one of those alien wannabes. So he's a total alien poser.
Maybe.
I guess we'll have to find out in My Teacher Fried My Brains.
So yes, they find Miss Schwartz up in the attic. She's kind of out of it, but she's okay. And now whenever Susan plays her piccolo, she thinks about Peter. Aw.
Oh, that's cute.
And she goes from wanting to be an actress to wanting to get into, was it science?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll be a scientist when I grow up.
Anybody who says I'm going to be a scientist when I grow up isn't going to be a scientist because they have no specific thing that they're looking at. Science is way too big.
It's very vague.
I think I'm going to science when I grow up.
Yes, I'm going to science. She's like, I'd like to invent a ship. So basically, she wants to make a UFO or a spaceship and visit worlds where we would be the mysterious aliens.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be something?
Or is it because she's searching for the one thing that she really wanted in this life?
A boyfriend.
Oh. Well, we know she's not going to work at it, so apparently this is not.
She's not going to put any effort into it.
What it is.
She's not putting any work into that.
That's for the boy to do.
Yep.
So that's where it ends. They expose the alien, and Peter goes off to be studied somehow. Hopefully not through.
Yeah, let's just cut that off.
So,
Peter flees the planet with Broxholm, and what happens to him, we will not find out until the next book. Or maybe I think it's 2 books later.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So I would say that people should read this book if they have like a couple hours and they want to have some fun, or read it to their kids.
Yeah, it would be good to read to kids, or if you're on a trip, it'd be a good audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
And it is.
Definitely don't got to be a very advanced reader to read it.
Yeah.
Reads like a Goosebumps book.
Yep, pretty close.
Not so many cliffhangers.
No.
Yeah, there's a few, but nothing like every single chapter.
Right.
And then Bruce Coville seems like an all right guy.
Yeah, I checked out some of his tweeting. Pretty
It's nice to have somebody that's all right after the last one.
Yeah.
Right. Just an author that just writes for the sake of telling kids stories.
Yep.
So I was going to say, what do you think is a lesson that was taught in this? And what's a lesson that is taught that probably shouldn't have? My guess is that one that shouldn't have been taught is that breaking and entering is fun and cool. It's not fun and cool. It's crime, kids. You can go to juvie for it.
I think the lesson is that boys are supposed to make the first move every time, and I don't think that they should take that too seriously. I mean, it's 21st century. Gender equality, man. Some of us dudes are shy.
It's true.
I think the lesson is that Peter was a long-term plant as an alien on the planet.
You fucking dick. He was not
Peter's
an alien.
playing the long game.
He was a scout.
If he turned out to be an alien, I will give you $1. How's that?
I will take the dollar. Don't look it up. We can't look it up.
No, we can't. We're
if
not
Peter's
going to.
been an alien this whole time, I owe you a Coke.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Cokes are more than $1, Andy.
It's okay.
Not an individual can. We can get a 12-pack for like $5, $6 or so.
Oh, if you piece it out, yeah.
Yeah, if you pieced it out. Anyways.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
May I just add that if you're a single lady, you get yourself a shy guy, and he's not going to cheat on you.
This
just
is true.
saying.
We just like to play video games and talk to our friends and make podcasts occasionally.
That's right. We introverts don't stray.
So since Harold has to go to bed, what do we got next up on the old reading block there, Andy?
Oh, next week it's that time again. It's Choose Your Own Adventure time.
Awesome.
Yay!
This time I am going to be reading Choose Your Own Star Wars Adventure. We're going to be retelling the story of A New Hope.
Oh.
It's gonna be somewhat interesting, and maybe the Empire will win.
I was going to say, as a proud supporter of the Empire, we all know what my decisions are going to be. The Empire did nothing wrong, you guys. Nothing wrong. Just brought
the Empire
prosperity
is an
to
analog for
the
Nazis.
universe.
We'll just see where the Force leads us. That's next week.
So I gotta say, as we're mentioning this right now, I took Bruce and Clark to the park today, and we had to take a bunch of lightsabers with us, and we were gonna fight. And Bruce was out in the backyard, and I noticed him swinging, and I didn't realize he was practicing a move with 2 lightsabers to try and trick me to get me, okay? I know this now because he used the move on me at Carroll Park, and I was standing too close to a tree and didn't realize it was there. And when I jumped back to fucking get out of the way of his lightsaber, I smucked into the tree and fell on the ground. With all these people watching, I'm holding the lightsaber in my hand, laying on the ground.
He got taken down
It's
by
fantastic.
his 5-year-old.
Oh, I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him.
After all this shit you've been talking about 5-year-olds,
Dude, I got my ass kicked by a 5-year-old with a lightsaber.
one of them took you out.
Right down on the ground, dude.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my
Good
God.
stuff.
Yeah, it was funny.
All right. So, let's close this up. Feel free to reach out to us with your feedback, your stories, your future book suggestions at any of our social media sites. We're at ReLiterated on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and YouTube and Facebook. So if you enjoyed the show, share it far and wide. Tell people about it. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Podbean, Google Podcasts, or any podcatcher app that pulls from these sources. Give us reviews and ratings. Do all that, the usual podcast jazz, because we would like to increase our audience. So
Ooh, follow us on a podcast.
Yes,
well.
absolutely. Follow us and support our friends' podcasts too. We've been meeting some fellow podcasters, and I'm sure they would appreciate your support as well. So, and you know who else you should support? Your local libraries and independent booksellers and thriftbooks.com. Maybe one day we'll get that sponsorship.
Independent booksellers will never jump into a giant penis to fly into space for 10 minutes.
That's right.
Yes.
And then come back and talk about how polluting space would be the best thing in the world. Or rather, out of this world.
Right. So if you don't want that to happen, then give a shit, read some lit.
Good night, everyone.
Obrigada.
I think the true lesson of that episode is that my teacher is an alien.
Really?
That and that Peter is possibly an alien.
He's not a fucking alien, you dick.
Peter is definitely not an alien. And now, here's a post-show, pre-show clip.
I am recording.
I'm recording as well.
Me
Oh,
too.
hey, Nardo.
Oh, it's Nardo!
Hey, of course it's Nardo.
Nardo the podcat.
Go on, Nardo.
I think the record button, sends out a cat call.
It does, yeah. It almost, brings him in. It's radar love,
All right. Ready for the clap?
Yep.
Actually,
All right.
there's a bass coming through. Let me go see if I can fix that. I'll be right back.
Okay. And we're all still rolling. This should go in the after show.
Yeah, it should. Him opening the door and stuff.
We're going to say some stuff about Josh, and he's not going to hear it until the episode comes out. What's your darkest secret that you know about Josh? Because I heard that he sleeps with the light on.
Oh, you heard that he sleeps with the light on? I was actually going to go with something that happened.
I mean, you know it better than I do.
Forgot. Yeah, I
You know it
longer.
longer.
Josh, one night drank a whole 6-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonades, and then he threw up like a hose into a toilet while he was in a full standing position.